Hey, what up, mother flowers? It's your boy Lock Zero, and I'm here with.
It's your main man Rev. How's it going, guys?
And we're here to bring you the latest and the greatest in the One Piece verse.
Yeah, we got that hot pirate action fresh off the presses, and we're actually gonna be able to go in a little bit more detail. I feel like. Man,
Yeah, this chapter, I'm very excited for this chapter. This chapter's nuts. But before we get into the chapter, please hit that like and subscribe. And hey, you know what? If you're feeling frisky, throw a comment in there. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll respond to it. Maybe
if
you
if
want
you're
to
feeling
just say hi.
if you're feeling especially raunchy, maybe even throw a like in there.
Yeah.
That gets me going every day. But be sure to follow us at Journey to Laugh Tale, our Instagram page with more content coming soon. More information coming there as well, and we're gonna have some interesting panels coming up and posts and polls coming up. So be sure to check us out over there. Got a lot of activity going on. But with all that being said, let's get into it.
All right, man. 1028, Brachio Hiss, I believe it was called. And so we're going to get into our recap section. We're going to do a quick recap. We got the Shonen Jump cover. They have Luffy on the cover holding a red pirate flag, and they're having the Knowledge King Championship banner, which I'm guessing is a Japanese exclusive event. It's going to be a trivia contest. So I guess for all the Japanese fans, kudos to you. You get to enjoy shit that we don't get to. Sad American music.
Unless we fly over to Japan, maybe. No, never know.
Yeah. We had the cover art, and this cover art's pretty cool. It's Usopp and Nami being streamers, playing probably some kind of iteration or approximation of Smash Brothers. You got Jinbei dressed up as Mario. Sanji, we're not too sure. Maybe he's Inkling, maybe he's Snake. Solid Sanji. You never know. You got Frankie as Donkey Kong. Brook, I'm guessing, is some kind of Castlevania character. Luffy is Ken, Zoro is Link, and Chopper is maybe Charizard. And Rob, this is the only thing that throws me off the whole Smash Bros thing, but Robin is dressed up as Morgan from Darkstalkers. So, for any of you Darkstalkers fans or Marvel's Capcom fans, you probably recognize that right away. That's the prelude to the chapter.
Yeah, and then we have the chapter starts off with CP0. They're discussing the other dragon, which has mysteriously appeared in this battle, and how it's battling against Kaido with Straw Hat Luffy riding on it. And they mentioned that it matches the artificial devil fruit that Vegapunk made earlier. So this is a great element. And we see the members of CP9 communicating with other members, and they're in clear view of America, which is cool. They just really are not giving any Fs right now. And we hear from them that orders are given if Kaido should fall, the world government is going to annex Wano, and ships are on the way. And we actually see a flash of a fleet coming along over to Wano, and they're planning on freeing Wano. So that's only if Kaido falls. But if you're not, I guess they're just going to have a really awkward standing. Whatever.
Yeah, then we get an update on the forces. It has turned from 30,000. Versus the 5,400 initially, to now 12,000 Beast Pirates and 8,000 Samurai Alliance. So, and Lucci, dun dun dun, is the one giving giving the order to capture Robin, and is the one in communication with the CP0 member who's on Wano right now. And we see Stussy and Kaku are with Lucci. We get a flash to Brook and Robin. And fodder characters are trying to capture them as they're slashing, slicing, dicing their way through. And Robin tells Brook, "Oh, you're so dependable." And he's like, "Oh, don't gas me up too much." Cut to Onigashima, and in the sky, Momo is by himself, and he's concerned that Yamato has left him alone. We get a little update. 5 minutes to go until we reach the flower capital.
Yeah, and we cut to Yamato, who's climbing up Onigashima. She's trying to deactivate all the bombs, the explosive there. She's trying to minimize the impact in case Onigashima does fall, and Momo can't do his goddamn job. And she's climbing, and normally they'll delay this, but they're actually moving quick with this. She gets to the top of it pretty quick, and she actually turns into a really cool fox form and runs off, speeding off into the battle to try and dismantle everything going on. And while that happens, we are actually cutting to the live floor, the dome interior, and we get an update on Queen Sanji. They're duking it out. We see them battling, and Queen is taunting Sanji, trying to get him to use the raid suit. And during this whole thing, he's dodging, he's doing pretty good. And he's thinking, there's definitely something up with my body. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's getting, attacked by Queen, but it's seemingly a pretty good stalemate. Until Queen tries to hit him with the black coffee laser beam attack. And Sanji dodges this, though, showing some pretty quick moves. Hits him with the Diablo Jambe bien cut grill shot. Boom, right to his stomach.
Yes. And then Queen reverts back to he reverts to animal form, his big brachiosaur, and he very grossly he declares he's going to demonstrate the power of the dinosaurs and launches his neck/tail, becoming basically an anaconda, while everyone is making crazy NL faces in shock. I mean, if I was there, I'd be making the same face. Izo, Marco, some of the mafia bosses, Kyogoro, Chopper, they're all like, what the just bugging out about this. And he coils around Sanji. Queen coils around Sanji and states that tons of armament hockey masters have been crushed by this technique. Queen points out, his main body, it's not, it's like, oh, since I'm a scientist, it's not just the body, and we see it's loaded with, artillery, and it activates on voice command. I think it's brachio launchers. He says this, which causes the main body to launch missiles and explosives and hits Queen, so he does damage to himself. And he yells at his body and he's like, I was just saying the word brachio launchers, why'd you do that? And again, we repeat this gag and he damages himself twice.
Yeah, after this, the damage, I guess, forced him to uncoil from Sanji. He states his attack was sufficient, and it doesn't matter, even though he, isn't on Sanji attacking him anymore, his attack did enough damage. And Sanji apparently has every bone in his body broken. He stands up and he's looking all like twisted up. But he states that it doesn't feel like it's a lot of pain. He's like, it stings a bit, but it's no problem. And everybody's like, what the hell are you? You're a zombie? This is ridiculous. It's creepy. And after this, we see his body starts to reshape. Everything starts to click back into place. And he's coming to the conclusion that he has the powers that his siblings have. He has the reshaping monster abilities.
Yeah. And finally, Queen ends the chapter with a sword slash at Sanji, which shatters his sword, as Sanji's durability is now supreme. That was an epic ass panel to end the chapter on. Super, super hype. Like, that's one of the coolest things I've seen in the.
We end it with Sanji being like, "This sucks. I don't want to be a monster," and Queen absolutely freaking the F out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that was the recap. So now we can get into our discussion. Love this chapter. The huge improvement over the last chapter. Like, it was just nuts. I mean, anytime I see CP0, I see shit going on outside of Wano and stuff, it already piques my interest like that, So, with the CP0, thing, and they're talking with Lucci and making plans. First off, I want to know, it's kind of weird to me that if Kaido doesn't lose, they're not going to invade. But if he does lose, they are. So they're saying, hey, we can't deal with Kaido. No, we can deal with the guy who beat him.
I don't think it's just that. I think that Kaido supplies them weapons, so they want to keep that relationship going. They really don't give a fuck, because they're there with the weapons. I'm sure if Luffy liberates the island, which they know he's going to do, they're not going to have any more weapons regardless. So they're like, well, we got to step in and take control if that situation happens. Because I think they could probably try and fight Kaido, but it may not be the most cost-effective battle. Versus okay, let's let Kaido keep doing his thing, and then he'll keep supplying us weapons like we need to anyways. Win-win.
Yeah, I don't see them even remotely believing they could deal with Kaido. I mean, maybe it's a
unless
different
they send an
situation
admiral.
because it's not just Kaido. I don't think an admiral could be Kaido, but maybe they're thinking, okay, if Kaido gets taken down, then that also dissolves the alliance between him and Big Mom. So they're not just worried about dealing with Kaido, they're worried about dealing with the Kaido Big Mom alliance.
That's true. Yeah. But you don't think Kuzan could take on Kaido?
Fuck no. I think.
So you don't
the only admiral who I could see potentially. No, not even. I was gonna say Akainu, but I don't think so. He he got beaten by Whitebeard after he was shot and stabbed and all these different things, and he's also incapacitated with sickness, and he still got like obliterated. You know what I mean?
So by that logic, do you think that Luffy's stronger than all the admirals now? Or if he beats him, he's stronger than all the admirals?
So, I mean, basically you're asking me, do I think Luffy is Yonko level? And I would say maybe he's low Yonko level, on the cusp of being Yonko level, but we got to take into consideration all the fights that Kaido had prior to this Luffy engagement. You know what I mean? So he's not fighting a fresh Kaido. It's not just a straight up like, you know, they're both fresh and Luffy comes out on top. You know, maybe after whatever abilities he gains, maybe whatever technique he learns, if you refresh the both of them and put them together, maybe Luffy could come out on top. But I don't know that Luffy would have pulled it off had all those preceding events hadn't occurred. So,
but regardless, forces are on the way to one up Kuni taking over, and
yeah,
this is insane. This is big movements by the team. Who could this come from? We think it's a Tenryubito, but more specifically, we probably think this is from Musan, right? He's
from who?
From Imu-san.
Oh, okay. Yeah, from Imu. Yeah,
Imu-san.
Probably a direct order from Imu, delivered by the Gorosei. You know, the CP0 reports directly to the Tenryubito and well, probably just the Gorosei. But
how does Shanks feel about this? Ooh, what if the redhead pirates show up? Like, well, we're here to take over for the full government. They're gonna help us out with something. So sorry, Luffy, but this is now the world government's territory. That would be an interesting moment.
Yeah, there's this craziness abound. There's a lot of possibilities. I mean, I think there's a high probability that Vegapunk is on one of those ships, and we will see him soon. And I think he's probably coming with his SSG. You know, at least part of the the SSG force, to at least part of it to you know, take things over. Basically, they're running a military occupation of a foreign land, so that's not cool. But yeah, I think that's.
Gets real. But they don't really even. I did want to make a quick note that they really didn't give a crap about Vegapunk's artificial dragon, which is interesting. You know.
Well, they notated it, and it was important enough for him to say something. So this is.
Well, I'm saying Lucci's side wasn't like he didn't care enough about it. Like, these guys are smarter. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a freaking dragon. You know, like that we conveniently mentioned 3 minutes ago on an off panel. You know, like. But I want to note, you know, Rob Lucci's kind of not giving a shit about, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's so many things to speculate on. I mean, him declaring capture Nico Robin. Do you think they're gonna pull it off and capture her? Do you think we're gonna have another rescue of Robin?
I think we're gonna have a big ass rescue arc. And
I don't like it.
It'll be no, listen, it'll be a double. It'll be Robin and Sabo, so it'll be his chance to redeem, you know, losing Ace, you know. And he'll have to go to freaking the Holy Land, Mary Joris, and F everything up. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna be like, I'm having everybody, Hancock pirates, freaking Draco Mia, all the buggy forces, all the remains of the Whitebeard. They're gonna pull up in Marineford. Not Marineford. They're gonna. Well, actually, it's nearby there, right? So they're gonna pull up and they're gonna destroy everything. And that's how Luffy's gonna walk away with his pirate crew, with the Revolutionary Army and stuff. It's gonna be mad hype.
In my ideal situation, and you know, I mean, I don't stick too hard to these ideas, because you know, a lot of people get very married to like, if One Piece does this, I'm gonna be like, bleh, and I'm gonna drop the series. I'll never drop the series. First off, but
the story is the story.
Yeah, but I think sometimes if people set up expectations and they're like, if things don't go this way, then I'm not gonna be here for it. They kind of, if it doesn't turn out how they pictured it, they lose out on a potential, like, you know, alternate thing that they might not have considered. You know what I mean? Like, Oda's a good storyteller, so even if it's not what you particularly wanted to happen, it's not to say he's gonna tell a shit story. So you know, but anyway, in my ideal scenario, Robin does not get kidnapped.
Yeah, there's gonna be like a lot of hype, because they've done this before, where it's like a lot of hype and then Luffy just smacks away whatever threat and they just keep going on with their day. You know, like, it could be as simple as that. Like, they'll show up and then they're just gonna like mollywop CP0 like in no time at all. You know, like they're gonna be like, you really think you can take our like Nakama? Like, fuck out of here. Like that could be what Frankie's and Djembe show back up to do. You know, like while they're like occupied, it'll be like a big mid battle between them and the CP0 guys. You know, they're on the island. But also disrespect from Rob Lucci. I can't imagine them beating Kaido's forces.
Yeah.
It's not
dude,
like they showed up in the place that I live, beat me and my friends' asses, and then took their friend and like left. Like,
it's like, bitch.
I can't imagine a world where that happens. That's why you're gonna get your ass kicked twice, Rob. That's why you deserve it.
Yeah, you know, he's not even worth fighting. He's not even worth Luffy's time at this point. He should get shat on by somebody else just to
Usopp.
make the.
Usopp should come back and do it. God, Usopp, you know what? Because he challenged him once, and he's like, "Oh, remember the last time?" He's like, "Yeah, I do remember the last time." And he hits him with like a hockey shot, and like one shots Lucci, and it's like, that would be awesome.
Yeah, Lucci talking mad shit for somebody who took an L for fucking pre-time skip Luffy. Come on.
I remember when every single bone in your body was broken, bro.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, definitely recognize that as well. Damn, I was gonna say something, I can't remember. But anyway, what in my ideal world, Robin would not get captured, and they find some kind of alternate way to read the Poneglyphs. Like there's a whole three-eyed tribe thing, and you know, trying to awaken, you know, that ability in Pudding so she could have that capability to do so. I want Blackbeard or whoever it is going to be chasing the One Piece to find their own way, and you know, Rob, because I just it would feel almost tiresome. I don't want the crew split up anymore. I want them to stick together. We had such a long duration. I know in the story it wasn't that long of a period of time, but in real time, this whole Sanji rescue mission shit took forever. So
what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Took 2-3 years.
Yeah. So I don't want this to happen again.
But it would be different if it was just one member splitting off. But yeah, I don't. You know what? Now that you mention it, I wouldn't like that to be a thing. I honestly kind of want them to go to the route where it's like, you know how when what's his face, the mud guy, Caribou, when he was trying to kidnap Shirahoshi, and they made a big scary deal about it, and then like they just showed up and bitch slapped him away, and it was like nothing. I kind of want this to happen, like that kind of to happen, where it's like they show up and like, oh, Robin, you're gonna come with us, and like Brooke just like walks right past them and like takes them all out in one step, and he's like, yo, and they just keep going about their life like nothing happened, you know?
Yeah. So all right. So this brings up another point. Robin being with Brooke, and then stating you're so dependable is like a red herring to me. So it's like
because he didn't have his real big moment, you know, like he had that, like, you know, he took out the fodder with that ice note, right? But he didn't have like that, oh, Brooke mega soul ice finisher, you know, ultimate move that, you know, he's saving.
Yeah, Brooke can have a big moment. It's hard for me to imagine Brooke being able to deal with CP0, and I mean, he may be like a lower CP.
I don't think any of the CP0 members are like commander level. Like maybe Rob and Kaku, but like I can't imagine like on a pure like fighter base that they're much tougher than the Straw Hats are, to be honest.
I don't know, man. I mean, they're like the elite CP0. They're the elite Cipher Pole Force. You know what I mean? Like
they're elite, but like I mean, I think elite and like, you know, monster are like different worlds. But I could be wrong. They could be like all like, you know, like high tier commander levels, maybe.
I would probably put them somewhere, maybe like a range of slightly below commander, and then some of them are like maybe up to like mid commander. You know, somewhere in that bracket. But I have to imagine they're fairly competent. Plus, if all three of them who are there jump Brooke and try to take Robin, like I mean, maybe if Brooke could take on one, I don't see him taking on all three. We don't know their abilities, we don't know the scope of what they can do, so it's a tall order to fill. But we'll see, you know, we'll see if Brooke and Robin stay isolated and they have an opportunity for CP0 to come in.
Like I think we could get a moment where, like, you know, Djembe, Frankie, who else?
Nami and Usopp.
And also Yamato show up and like, you're not taking our friend. Like, you know, not happening. And they all like jump him.
It could be a subversion. There's so many different forces in play. You have Straw Hat Alliance, we don't know where they are. We have the Revolutionaries, we don't know where they are. We have
Denjiro,
Blackbeard. Yeah, we have Blackbeard. we don't know where. Denjiro is one guy. I'm talking about like big forces that can come. Like Blackbeard's on the move specifically to go and obtain something.
If we're talking about forces, then you also have the Kuji pirate. The Kuji pirates.
They're dealing with Kobe.
Yeah, but you have all they could have escaped their island. There's no reason for them to just chill there. I would, I think that was a move made to put them on the move, to put them on the board in the new world. They're like, okay, we brought the entire nation with us because we gotta F some shit up now.
It's possible. I'm actually predicting that Kobe was either A, successful, or B, is collaborating with Boa behind the scenes, since he's a sword member, and since she has a relationship with Luffy. They might have been able to kind of work something out and make it look like, oh, I captured Bo, or we sunk her ships, or whatever the fuck. But in reality, that wasn't the case.
Do you think there's a chance they sent Garp to Wano? Have a Grandpa Garp moment. I was gonna see that old man. But what else? Who else is on the move? You have all the Shichibukai. They're all moving around. You have Crocodile's forces, of course. You never know if they could pop back in. Baroque Works 2.0.
Yeah. There's so many different factions in play. I think there's a possibility. I want to say the Revolutionaries are Blackbeard. The Revolutionaries are on the move, and
we completely forgot about the red hair pirates.
Yeah, and Shanks is supposed to make his move this year, so those ships on their way to Wano could be intercepted.
I was thinking that maybe to take out Blackbeard, he bargained okay, I'll help you guys take Wano, but I need something from you guys. And they're like, okay, well, we need something from you. Go there, and if and imagine how crazy it would be if Luffy wins and he looks at Shanks and Shanks is like, yeah, sorry, buddy, I know this is your friend, but I have a bigger purpose here, and I'm an emperor, so you're about to lose. And he beats up Luffy, but he doesn't kill them all. They just destroy the crew.
Yeah, I don't think the government will be willing to trade Nico Robin for anything. I don't know what Blackbeard would be able to offer.
No, I'm saying they're going to collaborate with Red Hair. I think because I think Blackbeard has his own evil schemes. He's not going to use the government, but we did see Shanks talking to the Gorosei, so maybe he's asking them for a favor, and maybe the favor back is all right, that's cool, but you're going to help us take Wano real quick, and then we'll give you what you want.
Maybe. Robin is just a very big bargaining chip, so it's hard to say. But there's so much speculation of how shit is getting crazy. Shit's gonna. Because it looks like even after Wano is resolved, there's an immediate threat right around the corner.
Act 4. And someone big has to be in the ships. It's like you're saying, because it can't just be fodder, because then they'll just take care of it in 2 seconds. It has to be somebody's. Either it's Vegapunk or a Yonko level or a commander, an admiral. Someone's coming. It's big. Green Bull, maybe we find Ryokugu. I was thinking that could be a really good possibility, and then we see that's in fact Zoro's dad.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that theory, but we'll see. We'll find out. The Sanji stuff was super cool. I like the way this is shaping out. He seems to be having a way easier time with Queen than Zoro is having with King. I'm kind of getting the impression that Zoro's gonna high diff King, and Sanji's gonna low mid diff Queen. And then there's other theories. So with this whole I think you kind of touched on it before. You're Queen taunting Sanji and telling him to put his raid suit on.
It wasn't about arrogance. I don't think. There's a argument to be he's so arrogant, he wants to have him power up and then beat him at his full suit. I think it just goes down to he wants him to put the technology on so that you can try and steal it. The laser technology, I'm pretty sure it's a Vegapunk invention, and I'm pretty sure that Queen's thing, as smart as he is, I think what his revelation, his character is I'm also just really good at stealing technology, or copying it after I see it. So I think we're gonna see him trying to take the raid suit after Sanji puts it on. I don't think it's oh, I'm so cool, let me fight you at max. It's let me get that stuff that Judge invented because it's really dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually kind of have a little headcanon where I picture like Queen, like putting out little like nanobots or something to like take over Sanji's raid suit when he has it on and just kind of overpower him and like, you know, take control of his body that way. Like he can hack into his technology or some shit. I don't know if that's too advanced for the One Piece world, but he is definitely wanting. He has ulterior motives with telling Sanji to put the raid suit on. Oh, sorry, backtrack for a second. With this whole thing with Yamato leaving Momonosuke and telling him like, "Oh, I believe in you, but I also don't believe in you, so I'm gonna go defuse the bombs on the off chance that you don't pull this off." So, you know, that kind of seemed counterintuitive. Yeah, and we also noticed when she's running to where the bombs are and stuff. Lost Crew is up on the island now.
How the hell did they get there?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they just jumped on Momo's tail when he flew up. But yeah, you see like John Bart's body and the guy who pilots the ship, the submarine, next to where Yamato is. So that was weird. But yeah, I like that Sanji is developing the exoskeleton. His ranking in like, you know, top contenders in the One Piece universe has shot up with this ability. Like this seems like an invaluable trait
because he was messing his brothers up a couple arcs ago and they had this ability. You know, that was just his regular form. So now, like, oh my god, like it's gonna just like take it to a monstrous level. So now I think he's definitely like top commander level easy now.
Yeah,
this is before he puts on the suit.
Yeah, it's crazy because prior to this chapter, like, you know, people would be like, "Oh man, Zoro over Sanji easy, like power levels."
And I was in that camp too, for sure. You know.
Yeah,
like,
but now people
Sanji
are
just
like,
hasn't
"I
shown
don't
anything,
know."
But
Yeah, I think that's why he's getting this absurd power up, so he could be more comparable to Zoro, because otherwise Zoro's kind of like significantly farther than him. Yeah, and
Zoro
but
put a
either
mark on
way,
the Yonko, you know, like
yeah.
what has Sanji done that's even close to that level, you know?
Yeah.
Get his leg broken by Dofi. Like
he broke his leg kicking Virgo. Like that's how serious his fucking armament was. But you know, yeah, Sanji needed something significant to put him back in the power scaling conversation. It's like, you know, Zoro got a sword and Sanji got like crazy fucking beef, like speed and durability. You know what I mean? Like it's the comparison is insane.
Yeah, so he's a superhuman now, and he was already a monster, so now he's a super monster human.
Yeah.
And I will say that the styles do make fights, so don't sleep on Queen just yet. He hasn't shown the full force of his capabilities, I don't believe. He's also clowning around a lot, letting his laser attacks hit him twice.
Yeah. Well, I think Queen is gonna be a kind of nasty fighter. Like so since he's already demonstrating, hey, I can separate pieces of my body and stuff like that, I think we're gonna get a situation, another headcanon. I think we're gonna get a situation where it looks like Queen is defeated. Sanji has defeated Queen, and when he's like talking to somebody else with his back turned, like the head will just activate on its own and shoot a laser or something. Like, you know, like there's like a main like computer chip or something you have to destroy in order to you know, really take him out. Because I think, you know, Queen is able to move different parts of his body independently. You know what I mean? So I definitely see a situation like that happening.
Interesting. We'll have to see. I mean, but do you think we're gonna get King and Queen flashbacks before all is said and done?
No. I don't know that we're gonna get a Queen flashback in the battle or anything like that. But I think whenever we get some kind of Vegapunk backstory, and you know, we see him like interacting with different scientists and stuff like that, I think we'll see Queen in that capacity, you know, in his formative days when he was younger and being, you know, an upcoming scientist. So that's how I think we're gonna get more Queen's backstory. But King, I'm pretty sure we'll get more info on King. I don't know if it'll be like a crazy dedicated flashback, but I think, you know, since there's a significance behind his race and everything, I think there's going to be more focus on King and what drove him to be who he is. But yeah, man, that him just getting hit with that sword and just saying ouch and the sword breaking was like a huge impressive like thing to
Because this was
see.
definitely like a full like hockey, and like we didn't see the the black blade effect going on, but like at this point I think Oda like gives us enough credit to be like, yeah, he was really trying to hurt Sanji in the swing and like probably gave it his all. He was back in his body, and Sanji just took it on the cheek and was like, meh, kind of stung. And
Yeah.
clean break, no blood, just a dent in his cheek.
Yeah.
I should have taken his head clean off, and nothing.
Word. But yeah, I mean, going back to the whole Zoro and Sanji being comparable thing, this isn't gonna last super long, I don't think, because obviously Zoro's gonna pull out some crazy shit. He's gonna pull out Omega Asura, Conqueror's Haki coated like demon slash, 10,000 blades kind of shit. And I mean anybody, anybody using Conqueror's Haki coated attacks are elevated automatically just by virtue of that. So, he's gonna step up above Sanji again. By the time his fight is over.
Well, here's the thing: is that Sanji's also gonna step up once, maybe twice in this as well, because he's gonna put the raid suit on and get another boost. Another durability, another speed boost. On top of everything he just got. So not a huge gap. And then that's not to say that this won't trigger a third, sort of power up where it's like his body is now fully synced with the raid suit, which makes it like really, really unlocked. Maybe like the raid suit was helping his body get to that point where it's like, okay, now you can actually use the full scope of what we can do here.
I did want to comment. I mean, it's been kind of wonky with this whole angle of him not wanting to be like his siblings, and make this big declaration he doesn't want to put the suit on, but then like a few chapters later, basically just throwing the suit on without much.
Well, he had to, right?
He didn't really have to. I mean, he did because he wanted to spare the citizens of Wano from Page One's wrath. Basically, he didn't want people to be get hurt, and I guess you could say it's a bit noble of him to do something like that, and he used it as a method of camouflage. But
I think Sanji's whole thing is that he doesn't want to be monstrous like his siblings because he thinks that their superpowers also takes away their emotions. But as we see with Reiju, I don't think that's true at all. So I think he's worried and concerned for nothing. But I mean, all the abuse, all the trauma, he doesn't want any part of his family. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I wanted to say I got more of a sense of like, okay, this is where the conflict lies. It's not so much the technology or whatever it is. It's that he doesn't want to lose his heart. He doesn't want to lose his moral code and all those things. He doesn't want to be an asshole emotionless like his brothers.
Imagine he doesn't cook anymore, like Luffy will lose his shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're gonna find Judge and reverse this immediately.
Yeah. So but I don't think he's gonna use it. He's gonna lose his emotions. I think more than anything that's what his mom wanted more than anything was for her children not to lose their emotions. I don't think she would be too concerned with them having fucking superhero powers. More so that Judge wanted them to just not be human anymore, and she probably she recognized that emotions aren't necessarily a hindrance. They can be a tool to push somebody further and motivate them and stuff.
And I think we're gonna have a funny moment where he like thinks he's like cold and like insults his friends, but then he sees Nami and Robin like loses his shit like 10 times. He's like, oh, I know I'm real. I know I still have my emotions because I see these. And he sees them and like, he has like huge nosebleed moment, like super powered raid suit nosebleed moment or something. And he's like, yes, I'm definitely human still.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, do you think there's a possibility of him starting to become emotionless?
I don't think so. I think if anything, he's gonna become more emotional. He's gonna become like amplified, super emotional. Just he might be more of a jerk to the guys, but I think he's gonna be even nicer to ladies, like insufferably nice.
Yeah, I don't think he loses emotions, especially like I think about when his shadow was taken, and he was supposed to become a perfect zombie servant, and he still disobeyed orders and wouldn't hit Nami and stuff like that. So I think if his spirit and passions are strong enough to subvert that he has enough strength of character to not lose his emotions, regardless of whatever power-ups he receives.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh man, what a crazy ass chapter.
I just thought of a hilarious prediction, but we'll get to that later in our predictions section. But I'm trying to remember that thought.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, man. So I guess that was our discussion section, and we can now get into the chapter grade. I love this chapter. It was super interesting. Just CP0 alone added like 5 points by itself. I love seeing that stuff. Secret agent stuff, behind the scenes plotting. It turned up the tone of the stakes of everything that's going on right now. So, I'm so happy that occurred. And the Sanji stuff was dope. Much needed power up, overdue. He's getting that going on, epicness. Overall, I just love this chapter. And I'm going to give it a 9.1.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you. I'm going to give it an 8.9. Amazingly solid chapter. Great moments. The only thing that I slightly count against it was that I think that all this is going to account for nothing. All the hype moments we got with the CP0 stuff, I think that the Straw Hats will overcome it. So it's like, it'll like look bigger, now that it's happening, right? But we're going to look back and be like, oh, they handled that itch, no problem, right? And then my other thing is, I think that Queen's an idiot sometimes, and blowing himself up twice is ridiculous. That's the only like slightly pushback I have against it. But overall, amazing chapter, great moments. I love seeing Sanji. Sanji's one of my favorites. His passion and insanity are awesome. Always has some funny moments.
You're saying even though the gag was funny, it took away from maybe like the seriousness.
The seriousness of it. This is supposed to be a high, like the last 3 fights. This is like one of the big last 3 fights we're gonna have. So it's like, But I get why they got to that point. I mean, a little, honestly, like better interaction I think than King and Queen, than King and Zoro had last time. So still hilarious. Hilarious seeing Sanji with every bone in his body broken and then just snapping back into place.
When I saw that panel, I was like, oh no, Sanji, what's happening? Oh, that definitely kind of put the heebie-jeebies in me. Also, Queen as a snake thing, gross.
Yeah,
super gross. I hate
it. Really out of nowhere.
It's funny, but I hate it. Ugh.
Yeah, like I also did not like it at all. It didn't make sense. He just ejects himself from his body. What is he, frickin' Voldemort or something? Like, I'm a snake. I don't know. Anyways, really cool seeing, and my mind is buzzing with just the potential of Sanji's fighting ability now. I think he's above Dofi level. I think he's, a high tier commander level, of course. Which I don't think he ever was. I think he was still at low tier commander level. I wouldn't even put him at commander, honestly. Maybe super low commander, like maybe against Cracker. Yeah, like maybe Cracker, right? Like because Cracker was freaking formidable as hell too.
I don't think Sanji could have taken out Cracker prior to this braid suit development. I mean, it took almost everything in Luffy, and Luffy needed help with Nami supporting him to deal with Cracker. So there's that. But yeah, man, huge power up for him. Much needed, because I mean, Luffy needs super competent people going forward. You know what I mean? Like, he can't be a Yonko unless he has commander level people working under him.
Yeah, like Rayleigh seemed like Yonko level. Like all those guys seem like really, really strong. Like everybody in a Whitebeard's crew back in the day. But digression. So 8.9 for me. Great chapter, amazing moments. Hilarious to see Marco and Iso freak out. I just wanted to point that out. It was really unexpected for me, and it was good to see that moment. But yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, so now we can get into our MVP. I'm gonna give it to Sanji. Sanji has done really well, even though he got caught unaware. But I think anybody would be pretty easily caught unaware by.
They showed how surprising this moment was. You know, everybody's eyes busted out their face. So yeah, like definitely like understandable how you were shocked.
Yeah, but Sanji was doing significantly well against Queen. Like he took a hit from him, which knocked him away, but he dodged his black coffee beam, hit him with the grill shot, you know, and tanked some crazy fucking attacks.
Even before it, he was doing pretty well in this fight, like you're saying. So I also am giving Sanji MVP honors. Leveling up, getting your body to this level. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what, like, I think I'm more interested in, not more interested, but I'm very interested to see how this fight develops, how this combo with the raid suit's going to go, what his, like, you know, true offensive capabilities are going to be. So I think they're about to take another significant boost. Because, I mean, think about it, he's just standing there taking a full-on shot to his neck, like, unawares from Queen, and it just breaks the blade. Like, what is a punch going to do now? What is a kick? I'm not a punch, but what is a kick going to do right now? Like, it's going to put a hole in Queen? Like...
Yeah. So you were gonna say, but then you corrected yourself that you're more.
Yeah, I was gonna say
seeing this fight.
I'm not more interested in Queen Zoro, King and Zoro like that. That's gonna get me hyped too. So I had to take that back. I am very, very interested to see King and Zoro fight. Like very interested to see that fight. Like, because we know what it means for Zoro's potential level. You know, and I don't think King is anything to joke with.
I'm going to be bold and say that I am more interested in this fight. I think there's more wackiness and wackiness is maybe not the right word, but there's more possibilities with this. You know what I mean? There's more possibilities with Queen versus Sanji versus where I think King and Zoro is just straight up slashing. You know what I mean?
They're going to be intense. It's going to be like a death match style versus this is going to be like a crazy, you know, One Piece, you know, pirate battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Sanji has good offensive capabilities, but he's also a thinker. So there's gonna be more like chess behind this than behind, you know, King and Zoro. It's just gonna be, you know, better attack techniques.
And Queen never seems to run out of moves, so you know he probably has a couple more tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll just say this: I find Sanji more interesting as a character than Zoro, and it's not to say he's necessarily more likable. The simping shit, super aggravates me and is super annoying. I could live without it. But you know, Zoro's very par for the course when it comes to anime characters. Like he's a very straightforward, I want power, swordsman, kind of guy. You know, and even so even though he's super cool, and maybe you can make the same argument about Sanji. Like there's always that anime character who's super pervy and shit. There's more nuance to Sanji.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got more going on with him. You know, he has the cooking thing, he has the dream of all blue. You know, his relationship with Seth fully explored is awesome.
He's a Power Ranger.
His thinking, you know, like he actually like uses like his creative, you know, like that thought rod, like that's what saved him in Ennis Lobby. You know, like at the end of the day, like was that he gets them out of situations with crocodile and stuff. Remember, like that. Like he's always coming up with these you know, real clutch situation. So it's got a lot of things going to it.
Yeah.
And then he has a swirly eyebrow. You know, don't forget that.
You can't take that away from him. Plus, he's a Power Ranger, so you know. I mean, he's hitting it on all fronts. So you can't.
Here's the question I have for you then. That's not a prediction. Do you think he's gonna upgrade his raid suit and get like the color scheme power up? Like he's gonna become the White Ranger now?
Yeah. No, I mean, I say this multiple times. He's gonna become the White Chef Power Ranger, and he's gonna have blue flames.
This is that moment.
Right now, I don't know if it's gonna happen right now, but it will happen before the series is over.
Okay.
That was our MVP section. Sanji, the clear win. I mean, I didn't even think there's really any other contenders.
I was thinking about giving Queen points, but then the fact that he blew himself up twice kind of like really slanted it away.
If anything, he's the LVP.
Yeah. I was gonna possibly nominate him for that just for those moments because you had him and then you just lose it. But I was thinking about Rob Lucci, but Rob Lucci, you know, as cool as it is, as rare it is, and you know what a significant development. I was like, Sanji still carried this chapter. You know, really went out on the Sanji note. So my man gets the honors. But I think Rob Lucci is a third place finisher this week.
Yeah, I don't even put him in the running, honestly. He's just carrying out orders. He's just being a messenger boy right now.
Being a sore loser as well. I can imagine Luffy ever doing something like that. It's not like he's came into an unwinnable situation and kicked everyone's ass repeatedly. Oh wait, 4 times? 5 times now he's done that? Like, dick.
Yeah, seriously. You have no fucking position to be talking shit about Luffy, dude. Get out of here with your trash. But yeah, that was our MVP. And now we can get into predictions.
Yeah. So I actually want to jump up, and I have a very, very long-term prediction. So I was thinking, like, you know, I'm assuming that CP0 will fight eventually with the Straw Hats, right? And I was thinking, is, you know, Rob, Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy gonna fight, like, the top 3 members again? Like, you know, like, it'll be, you know, them versus Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy. But I'm like, well, you know, Sanji never fights women, so that wouldn't happen regardless. I don't see Zoro, like, you know, fighting against someone he's already beaten like that. Like, I don't think that, you know, Kaku's on that level. And then even Lucci, I don't think he's going to be on that level. So I had a prediction that the weakling trio are going to take these 3 out. That Nami's going to take out Stussy. That it's going to be the battle of the long noses, Kaku versus Usopp, and then Rob Lucci monster form versus Chopper, fully developed monster form. And they're going to get taken out by the weakling trio protecting Nico Robin, possibly, or getting back Nico Robin.
That would be the most embarrassing shit for the world government, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. So King sniping, beating the giraffe, because it's like, you know, I don't see Zoro and Luffy battling Robin and Kaku again. I think they're like way too high, and I think it'll be hilarious if like they like think about it. Like Chopper has like really untapped potential, so I think he'd match up well against Lucci, and Usopp, you know, is gonna like I think get more hockey power up, so I could see him, you know, being maybe like getting a shot in on Kaku at the right moment, you know, sniping him out.
Nobody would ever respect Lucci again if Chopper beat him. Just gonna say that right off the bat.
Not if Chopper has like a cool, like, you know, like mega form, you know, Rumble Ball, you know.
I don't know, man. That's a hard one.
I would love it. He becomes like
it's not a bad storyline, I'll say.
Think about it. I'm calling it. The Weakling Trio takes out the former monsters, Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy.
All right. So, predictions. Yes. You said your long-term prediction. This is hard. We're at a point where so many different possibilities can occur. I don't know if we're gonna get more CP0 stuff next chapter. I guess there's a possibility.
We also have to acknowledge the break next week, so awesome.
Yeah, that sucks. But we could get the next chapter is that you know they start to enact the plan to try to take Robin, so they can maybe try and scope her out, find her. They leave, and that chick who's a Mary who's with them is like, "What are you guys doing?" And
also, yeah, like she gone. Yeah, she's not gonna immediately, you know, bring this up to Kaido. Like, oh yeah, by the way, CP0 says fuck all of us. You think they're gonna go after Who's Who? You think Who's Who comes back? Because we still want to kill him.
That is another thing they need to do. I forgot about that. They need to go and neutralize him. But it'd be cool if they all get up and like, okay, let's go get Robin. And they start to walk away, and you just kind of see like their feet moving with that chick just holding the koto, and then she just falls over, and then she's like been dead this entire time. And like, you know, they like she gone flying finger pistoled her to the side of her head or something, but you can't see that she's dead because she has a face mask thing on her face. That'd be super like ominous and crazy. But anyway,
well, no, because we see music notes that she's definitely playing. She's definitely alive.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I guess that completely kills that whole thing.
Usually like a drip of blood, like just you know. But at the moment she's recording, so that doesn't that mean like all the Marys instantly know what's going on?
They should, which was weird to me that they're just deliberately talking about this stuff out loud when it can be overheard, but maybe they just don't give a shit. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, if they were confronted about it, like, hey, if you were gonna lose, then why would you even care?
Supply us.
Yeah, if you were gonna win, then there's obviously this conversation is pointless. So but But anyway, yeah. So I think we might see CP0 on the move. We had Zoro previous chapter. We had Sanji this chapter. So now we got to rotate to somebody else. I'm not. Oh man, I'm not sure. Do you have any ideas where we're gonna go?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Momo again. I think we're gonna see him spitting out some clouds, like so starting to get like where he needs to go. But like really, really weak stuff, instead of being like, I can do this, and then starting to hype himself up. Because I'm tired of this weak ass Momo. Like, yeah, you should have resolved this when you bit Kaido. It's done. Yeah, man. No, but I think we're gonna get a little flash of Luffy and Kaido battling. Like not a crazy bit, but like a quick check in. Like maybe them just like punching and like shaking up the ground, like half time. And
maybe
I'm really not sure. Like we have a lot of directions now. We can check back in on the Zoro King fight. We can keep bouncing back and forth there. It's very hard to predict now.
Here's a high likelihood, I think, or more of a likelihood. We've been talking about before, like all these other fights we haven't checked in on. This could be an ample moment to check in on Big Mom, Law, and Kid, or we can cut to X Drake and he pursues the sword angle, because sword, they're there for a reason. They could actually be a force that counteracts, the ships that CP0 has sent. You know what I mean?
Why?
Like
They work for the government too.
But they're trying to fix things in the government. They're trying to do a coup d'état. They seem to be more
a
positive
splinter?
force.
They're a force.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's. I mean,
Do you think they're run by Kuzan?
I think there's a high possibility. I think Garp could be in charge of Sword, which could explain why he makes the decisions he makes and he sticks around the way he does. He could be trying to work behind the scenes, like so. Even though he had to let Ace go, he thought it was like a sacrifice necessary to really change things from the inside. So it could give his character more depth. Law is possibly a member of Sword. He could have taken after Corazon and been another covert military person. By the way,
I don't see that happening at all.
I think there's a high likelihood, and these aren't my theories. This is from Randy Troy. He has a very, very compelling video about Law being part of Sword and just Sword in general. So I recommend that to anybody. Please go check out that video. It's awesome and it's very well detailed.
All right. At this point, it's super hard to make predictions on going any direction. We could go back to the ninja fight, like you were saying. We still have Orochi chilling around, causing havoc. Maybe that's where we're going, where it's going to be Odin versus Orochi, right? Because if he will know definitely there's bombs in the basement, maybe his plan was, let me go blow everything up, and that's why Yamato didn't go on the island. And she's like, you were stopped by Odin. He's like, what the F are you talking about? You're Yamato. He's like, no, I'm Odin. And she beats him to death.
Yeah, no, that did cross my mind. I forgot to mention that before. I felt like the Yamato leaving Momonosuke was more or less for the purpose of getting her away to do her own thing. She wasn't just gonna stand on. She's not gonna be this huge, crazy, capable, powerful fighter and just get sidelined by Momonosuke.
It's gonna be his guard. The battle's still going on. So got a lot of hitters. Because for all she knows, like one of the Straw Hats can go down. You have like a king or a queen running around. That needs to get dealt with.
Yeah, so I thought about Orochi being a little asshole going to set off the bombs and explosions and stuff.
That's probably the most likely thing, actually, now that I think about it. And that's probably why Odin, Yamato will go to stop Orochi,
100%. So yeah, I think that was a pretty good prediction section. I think we kind of worked it out, even with the, all these crazy nexus of possibilities at our disposal. We kind of pieced something comprehensive together.
And I'm going to be super bold and say that it is the red hair pirates on the world government ships. I think they're going to come and they're going to be like the trump card that the world government uses to annex this, and they're going to really defeat the Straw Hat crew for the last time, and it'll be a big moment where they triumph, but Shanks is the last man standing, and he's like, I love you, but I'm also a Yonko, and I'm here doing a thing for my own personal reasons, so I gotta get my itch taken care of. And then we have the cool moments where all the crew goes down and they get themselves stronger because of that.
Yeah, what a sad story for the people of Wano. I want them to be triumphant. I want them to be freed, and I want them to reject the world government getting their hooks in them. So,
yeah.
We'll
I mean,
see.
like you said, maybe this is reinforcements for Luffy. Maybe like Vegapunk's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm really working for the revolutionaries, and this land is super free. F y'all. Like I'm out. I was just looking for my moment. Y'all thought I was with you. I deal with science.
The science boy. Yeah, man, that was our predictions. And I guess on that note, we will be saying goodbye. We will have to part ways, unfortunately. But again, hype ass chapter.
Amazing.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say chapter 1028 really got knocked out of the park. I love this brachiosaur hiss for the win, even for the dumb name. But yeah, no, like really great chapter, top to bottom. The cover art was great. Action was spectacular. The world's moving around us, so we can theorize to the death of us about what's going to happen, the moments that could happen, and just the direction of the series in general. A lot of good movement here. A lot of good movement.
Yeah, man.
Big action. But yeah, before we do that, I was just say make sure to leave a like and a comment if you guys can on our YouTube video. Check us out if you have any theories yourself. If you have any agreements, disagreements, any crazy thing going on, and be sure to follow us on Journey to Laughter.
Hit that subscribe button and check out our Instagram. I'm pointing in every direction, it'll come up somewhere. Yeah. All right, guys. I've been Lock Zero.
I'm your main man, Rev.
And we will see you next time. Peace.